In this chemical equation, we have carbon reacting with sulfur dioxide and producing carbon disulfide along with carbon monoxide. Let's start by determining how many atoms we have. We have one for carbon, one for sulfur, two for oxygen. On the product side, we have 1 plus 1 gives me 2 carbon atoms. We have 2 for sulfur, and we have 1 for oxygen. Next, we need to identify the loner, and that is the one that is not part of a compound. So in this chemical equation, that would be carbon. And we're going to balance that one last. It likes to be by itself. It's the loner. Next, we need to identify the 1:1 ratio, and that is the element that appears one time in the reactant side and one time in the product side. And it does not matter if the subscripts are different, and they can be part of a compound. So carbon, it appears one time in the reactant side and 1 and 2 times in the product side. So it's a no. Sulfur, 1 and 1. Oxygen, 1 and 1. So now we need to start with the largest 1:1 ratio, and that would be the element that has the largest subscript. So out of the ones that we put the check mark, the ones with the largest subscript, they happen to be oxygen and sulfur. So you can start with either or. You're still going to get the same answer. I'm going to start with sulfur. So, and that's just a preference. So I have 2. Notice that I have 2 atoms of sulfur, and I have 1 over here of sulfur. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to lock this in with a 1. So 1 times 2 gives me 2. So I need to have 2 over here. And I'm going to write a coefficient of 2. And now that I have done that, I have 2 and 2. And now that I wrote this coefficient of 2 in here, it also changes my oxygens. So 2 times 2 gives me a total of 4. So therefore I need to have 4 over here in the product side. And the way that I do that is by writing a coefficient of 4. So at this point, the oxygens are balanced as well. And notice that I'm left with the loner, and that's what I want to end with. So I happen to have now 4 carbon atoms plus 1 more gives me a total of 5. So I'm going to write a 5 in there, and then at that point everything is balanced because we got 1 there, and then plus 4 from here gives me 5.